Hey, how's it going? I'm Skitty Beans, and today we're going to be watching another Casual Geographic video. We're going to be watching animals that get the middle finger from childhood. So I'm interested to see what is going to be on this list. If you get a chance, I would appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe. It would help me out a bunch. And I have Casual Geographic's video linked in my description below. And if you do have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm always happy to see recommendations, suggestions, favorite animals, everything like that. So, all right, let's get into it.
A hippo made me cry. Hippos are easily first ballot in the Hood Nature Hall of Fame, but they didn't get it from turning hundreds of humans into hashtags a year, or for being a part-time predatory land whale out of water, while also being fast enough to catch a ticket in a school zone. It's not because of it's not just their eyes. It's because as a kid, I was traumatized by 3 words: hippo, baby, shower.
Hippo baby shower. I what? I wonder. I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing as a guess as to what a hippo baby shower is.
Maturing is realizing 2 things about nature. 1, you hit the RNG lottery if you die of old age, and 2, you probably have a worse childhood than an actor from Run.
Oh my god. What? It went flying. Holy.
You hit the RNG lottery if you die of old age, and 2, you probably have a worse childhood than an actor from Redacted. Since I've already made a mother and father video on this channel, instead, we're gonna do basically the opposite. Here are the animals that get spanked the hardest by reality the moment they're born. And while this isn't really a bad parents video, you're gonna see some of these animals need CPS in the worst way.
Oh no, it wasn't. Was it? Oh no. Oh god. Oh, making her scent on the baby, I swear. Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, back to hippos. So as a kid, I was watching this documentary. I couldn't really tell you what it was called or even what it was about, but there was this one scene where a mother hippo showed up with her freshly born calf, and the other hippos woke up feeling like Mike. Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, take your pick. Either way, I watched the calf become coarse confetti in front of my eyes. Hippos are actually pretty solid moms. They'll take a maternity leave from the herd and pretty much quarantine herself for weeks to have the kid, and it's usually after a couple of weeks where she'll return to the pod. Problem.
Oh my gosh, were they just... Oh gosh. I love this picture though, it's so sweet. The little baby hippos, and the mom just looks so like content. But like, what the hell is this? What is this? Is this like a hazing thing? Like what? Oh gosh.
Confetti in front of my eyes. Hippos are actually pretty solid moms. They'll take a maternity leave from the herd and pretty much quarantine herself for weeks to have the kid.
So
and it's
cute.
Usually after a couple of weeks where she'll return to the pod. Problem is, if she comes back to an overcrowded pool or limited resources or really just a hippoing, males will gang up on the mother, separate her from the calf, and make a hippo baby shower shockingly literal.
Oh my gosh. It's rare but not unknown. It usually occurs when hippos travel beyond their territory and mix with new groups by killing the young that are not his. Ugh. It is believed that a male could increase his reproductive success by bringing females into ostrus ready to mate with him. Oh my god. So they kill the babies? Oh Jesus.
Males will gang up on the mother, separate her from the calf, and make a hippo baby shower shockingly literal. In their defense, it's technically rare, and it's not like your favorite animals don't follow the same script. But man, did the squeals of an eviscerated baby hippo alter my brain chemistry. The hippo—
Oh no, so that documentary probably showed the whole thing. Oh gosh, that would probably traumatize me too. Oh, poor Casual. I feel like he's been so traumatized.
Hippo's first introduction to its own kind is a family pool party that can turn into an actual bloodbath. And if that's too dark for an intro, I'm gonna put this
Oh my gosh.
right here, because like the world to Ray Charles, it only gets darker. So in my non-professional online opinion, there's about 4 ways animals fresh out the womb get violated by the natural order. And the first one's what hippos go through, which I like to call running the gauntlet.
Running the gauntlet. Oh my gosh, these poor babies. Man, nature is wild and it's cruel sometimes. Oof. Look at this little baby though. Cute.
Basically means because of circumstances, an animal too young to be anything but a milk merchant has to go through trials, tests, and a real life bullet hell that I would hesitate to wish on my worst enemy. And
Oh
unfortunately,
gosh.
my worst enemy is not this bird. You see, the barnacle goose had a problem. They build nests on high, cloud-caressing cliffs, away from polar bears and foxes, but their food source, aka their entire way of life, is at the very bottom. And because they're basically flying lawnmowers that eat mostly grass, they can't just mama bird food into their faces. And air Ubering them down ain't on the table either. So their only option is to jump. All the way down.
Oh my gosh, how I wonder how tall that, like how high up are we talking? Because that looks really high. That looks very high to just, you know, flap yourself off of. That seems, oh gosh, oof. I mean, it makes sense to keep your baby safe, but at the same time, like this seems like it's a little dangerous.
Table either. So their only option is to jump. All the way down.
Gosh.
The day-old flightless baby barnacles free fall up to 400 feet straight down.
400 feet straight down, and they're look how tiny they are. They don't look like they're very big. Oh, how tall is the Statue of Liberty? It's 305 feet and 1 inch. So they are falling farther than how tall the Statue of Liberty is. That is insane. How many of them die though? I wonder what their survival rate is, because that seems really high.
The Statue of Liberty would be a vacation for them, and the only thing breaking their fall are the rocks littering the bottom. Really, the only break they get is nature giving them a fluffy down coat and flyweight class to make the whole rock landing thing less of an immediate game over. But don't worry,
oh my god,
it gets worse. The parent geese do help by calling out to the chicks and kind of coaching them down, but their encouragement can end up attracting the same predators they were trying to avoid in the first place. Also, as a conscious cotton ball, they go wherever the wind blows them, and if that happens to be too far away, they can get snatched by a raven before their parents even get to them. Not to mention,
oh my god, this is it. This is wild. These poor little these little baby birds got a rough. So you have to fall hundreds of feet and then hope to not die from that, and then hope to not get too far away so you don't get eaten. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
mentioned, barnacle geese don't get full immunity. 10% of the chicks become a casualty to the cliffs, and only a third are alive after 2 days.
Yeah, see, like those are not good odds. They have it rough. Oh man, that is so, oh gosh, I can't even imagine it. These poor birds.
Basically, this is the second animal in the row where baby shower sounds more like a sick joke, and wouldn't you know, they're not the only birds that don't need autumn to be a fall baby. Wood ducks have to yeet themselves up to 50 feet out of their tree nest or starve to death inside.
Or starve to death inside. Oh my gosh. Man, birds, I swear, I feel like birds have it so hard. I don't know why. I mean, like I don't know a ton about birds, but I feel like every time we talk about birds, it seems like they have such a hard life. It just seems like it's just rough and it's unforgiving for these babies. And how we have so many birds that survive, I mean, I am color me impressed by that.
Wood ducks have to yeet themselves up to 50 feet out of their tree nest or starve to death inside. I didn't know water landing was a luxury because merganser chicks have to do the same thing, except the best they get are leaves.
Oh,
but at least with
gosh.
ducks and geese, they run the gauntlet, but they have their parents there the whole time. This crab could only be so lucky. The Christmas crab's named after the island it's on, and every year, the crustacean exodus travels from within the forest all the way to the coast by the tens of millions for, well, if you know what this drink is called, just know crabs have copious amounts of it. Walking to your spring break when you're
I don't know what that drink is. I actually have no idea what that drink is. I mean, are they talking about mating though? You know what? I have not drank in a very, very long time because it makes me feel terrible. So, and even when I did, I never really drank anything crazy. So looking at mixed drinks, stuff like this, I honestly couldn't tell you probably 90% of them.
Well, if you know what this drink is called, just know crabs have copious amounts of it. Walking to your spring break when you're only inches tall is a struggle enough. Doing it in reverse at tick size is veteran difficulty. Because a few weeks later, the Christmas crab progeny has to backtrack from the beach all the way back into the recesses of the jungle with the rest of the population. It takes over a week straight of walking, while dodging everything from cars to the people in them. And that's if they don't—
Oh my gosh, look how oh my gosh, that is quite the scale to see of like how tiny they are. And then they have to walk for a week. Bro, oof, damn.
get spawn sniped on the beach by their own kind. Out of the legit billions of crabs that take the journey on, only, let's see here,
Is that one eating
0.00.
them? Is that one eating the babies? So, oh my gosh. Oh man. You know, food chain is wild sometimes.
0.01% of them live long enough to continue the cycle. Now, I'm not the best at math. They're arguably the only
That is such a bad percent. These poor little crabs. I mean, 0.0001% chance. That is, I mean, we're lucky enough that these crabs are still around.
1% of them live long enough to continue the cycle. Now, I'm not the best at math. They're arguably the only insect that can give 10% of the Furious 5 problems.
Oh.
It sounds like all but 1 in 10,000 crablets are statistically f***ed. Nothing says Gauntlet like having so many kids. You basically forced the right hand of RNG to do at least one of your own right. Spoiler alert, you're gonna see that again. But nothing.
Oh no. I think crabs are cool though. I like crabs. I think they look cool. Like I really like the way they walk and like move around, and I like like how they eat. I don't know. They're very interesting. They're very interesting.
Nothing makes running the gauntlet more literal than Godzilla's understudy. Ironically, the marine iguana is only a menace to.
Oh my god, I have never. What is that? What is this? It looks like it is just having the worst day of its life every day, I'm assuming. And it kind of looks like a baby Godzilla. I don't know. This thing's kind of wild though. Looks very grumpy. I like it.
Running the gauntlet more literal than Godzilla's understudy. Ironically, the marine iguana is only a menace to algae and is reportedly chill like that. Their childhood is anything but, because gravid iguanas will lay their eggs deep in sand or volcanic ash. But that also means they have to do the dash when their underground nursery turns out to be a snake pit. As soon as
Oh no. So, oh gosh. So their babies can get eaten too. They look cool. I have never heard or seen of these. Oh, I kind of like them. They're pretty cool.
that also means they have to do the dash when their underground nursery turns out to be a snake pit. As soon as the iguanas are born, they immediately rush to the rocks for cover, and that can get them tailgated by, of course, racer snakes. And like their name suggests, they're liable to run down a luckless lizard.
God.
Bro really just blew a 4-0 leg lead. Oh, and Euro-stepping Satan's garden hoses doesn't mean they still can't get picked off by the always menacing Galapagos hawk. Running through ops like Marshawn Lynch your first day out is survival of the fittest on steroids.
How fast do these little guys run? They look like they're really fast. I mean, obviously they're still getting caught by these snakes and birds, but still, I mean, like they look like they look like they're moving though. They don't look slow.
And remember, running the gauntlet is just one of the ways the world plots on the young. But number 2 might arguably be worse. Criminal negligence.
Oh,
At least
gosh.
with before, if you take an L, you can chalk it up to a skill issue. But with a parent like that, if you're strapped for luck, you're pretty much in trouble. The harp seal is actually a decent mother. For 12 days, she
For 12 days, for 12 whole days, she's great. After that, bye.
nurses her pup for less than 2 weeks, then what? She abandons the pup to go find more males because mother harps are for the sheets. The ice sheets. Keep in mind, a baby seal can't swim or otherwise feed itself for the next 6 weeks. Even
Oh my gosh. Look how cute they are. Oh my god. So how many of them die, I wonder, from starvation because they can't swim and they can't feed themselves? That seems like a really bad parenting plan. God.
even losing half their weight in the process. Forcing a hunger strike on your kids is bad enough. Pulling that polar bear country is diabolical. Worst part is the pups are naive enough to confuse anything that moves for their mother. So those videos of them pulling up to cameramen, it just got a lot darker.
Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So like that makes a lot of sense now. So all those videos you see, they think that that might be their mom. Ugh. That kind of breaks my heart a little bit. That's really sad.
That moves for their mother. So those videos of them pulling up to cameramen, it just got a lot darker. Quokkas are on a different kind of timing because they'll yeet their young as a contingency plan against predators. And while no, they don't literally throw their babies into the oblivion, if things ever get too tight during a chase, the muscles in the pouch do the exact opposite and drop the Joe young.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Oh man. You know, it never, I mean, I kind of always figured that animals had kind of like a hard baby life, but I can't say that anything necessarily came to mind other than like predators eating them. But I mean, they got way more on their plate than I could have imagined.
If things ever get too tight during a chase, the muscles in the pouch do the exact opposite and drop the Joey on the ground. And while the screaming, writhing Joey gets the worst kind of attention, Mama Marsupial hightails it, because you know what they say.
What's 17 more years? I can always start again. Make another kid.
Kangaroos, wallabies, and quokkas have all been known to ghost their kids in the worst way. In fact, tree kangaroos have been known to eject their Joey over the stress of a bad storm. But hey, shout out to koalas. Not only did I not find cases of them sacrificing the youth, some koalas have adopted orphan Joeys and looked after them like their own, so big ups to the Chlamydia Care Bear.
To the Chlamydia Care Bear. I mean, that's actually very admirable of them though, because I feel like it doesn't, it's like one or the other, right? It seems like some animals are more than happy to adopt orphan animals, and then other ones it's like mealtime. So we have very very drastic ends of the spectrum here.
Youth, some koalas have adopted orphan Joeys and looked after them like their own, so big ups to the Chlamydia Care Bear. You got koalas caring for kids that aren't even theirs, and a desaturated deadbeat forfeiting custody to the gulag. Pandas often have twins, but because they only have the facilities to keep one alive, they'll basically flip a coin, keep Zach, and Cody gets returned to sender. To the point where zoos have to play parent trap with a panda and will sub in one twin after another. Whole time the bag of bamboo thinks she only has one. But you've definitely heard all this before, so I'm not gonna go in depth. What I will do though is mention the bird of pandas. This is a grebe. If you haven't seen
a grebe, I have never seen one.
What I will do though is mention the bird of pandas. This
I want to go look at this thing. It's really pretty. It's really cool. A grebe. I've never seen or heard of this one either. It's cool. Its head and face kind of look like a peacock.
Is a grebe. If you haven't seen one before, let this be your introduction.
Oh.
The hooded grebe will have 2 eggs, and they'll lay both on this kind of floating nest. First to hatch hitches a ride on their mom's back. Second place, yeah, it just gets left there. 97% of the time, the grebe couple only raises 1 chick. It's bad enough when pandas do it, but at least the DreamWorks franchise isn't endangered anymore. Being critically close to being cooked while having a 1-child policy is just egregious. Oh my god.
Just egregious. I mean, I don't know how he couldn't do that pun. But I mean, raising 1 and you have 2. Oh gosh, yeah. I bet that probably doesn't work out in your favor more so, especially if they are kind of threatened. And then like, has this gone down? And how much does it go down every year if they're only raising 1? And then how much, like, what is their survival rate too?
Being critically close to being cooked while having a 1-child policy is just egregious. Oh my god. In fact, the average baby raised per adult each year is 2. That's not a smudge. Make that 0.2. And yet there's a bird that might be worse. Now how could emperor penguins be here? They were in my Father's Day video, and the mothers aren't slouches either. But in a really cruel twist of fate, the very thing that makes them great parents can royally screw the chick over. Prolactin is a hormone that goes into overdrive once the penguin lays an egg and keeps going long after the chick hatches. And it's believed it's actually the high levels of prolactin that drives a penguin to make the long trip back to its chick after days of filling up at sea. The problem is the prolactin doesn't fall off if the penguin ends up losing the chick, and the parental drive can be so strong it forces them to kidnap someone else's.
Oh no. Oof. Damn. That's oh gosh. Okay.
Losing the chick, and the parental drive can be so strong it forces them to kidnap someone else's. Not only can the chick get accidentally smothered in the process, most times the kidnapper loses interest after a couple hours, leaving the
Oh no. So they either get like trampled, is that what this is? They can get trampled and then abandoned if they do get successfully kidnapped. Jesus.
Chick get accidentally smothered in the process. Most times the kidnapper loses interest after a couple hours, leaving the forcibly fostered chick to die, either of starvation, freezing, or getting turned out by a giant petrel.
Oh my god. Jeez. How often does this happen to these little baby penguins?
Speaking of which, they'll really watch an ice-chilled vulture snatch their child in front of them and will do jack about it. I mean, sometimes they'll try.
Oof.
Until they don't. Imagine the plot of Taken, but if Liam Neeson was in the same room and didn't even move from his couch. To be fair, I honestly don't know what I was expecting here. Except better. Mind you, that's only the half of it. Literally.
Oh my god, we're only halfway on this list and I'm already like, oh god. This is, oh gosh. This is so like crazy, man. Nature is just so like just oof sometimes. I mean, it is what it is though, you know? It's just, that's just how it is for them. But oh god, my heart goes out to all these baby animals.
Next is what I like to call it be your own. You've probably seen videos of storks throwing their own chicks out of nests. It's cuz in survival of the fittest, fit isn't about strength or washboard abs, but fit is more like how good you are at making more of yourself and passing the genes off. Look like a liability, and most bird moms aren't going to waste the resources better spent on your bigger brother. They'll just subtract you from the census themselves. And
oh my gosh, so can they tell which ones are the weaker ones in their like, I don't, is it like a litter? Like what? at all the babies they have, but oh gosh.
Moms aren't going to waste the resources better spent on your bigger brother. They'll just subtract you from the census themselves. And that's not the only way parents can be your biggest op. Scorpions are dedicated enough to literally carry their entire family on their backs for days. But
that's actually really impressive though. I actually didn't know that about scorpions. That's super impressive that they do that.
Scorpions are dedicated enough to literally carry their entire family on their backs for days. But let resources get low enough and you'll see a spice roach having a kid's meal. And long-tailed skinks go full scorched earth. She'll try to defend her nest, but if she feels like it's getting invaded too often, eventually she'll say F it and eat her entire family first.
Oh my gosh. So like that's well, I guess we're getting invaded too much, so I should just eat you. that'll just fix the problem, right? Oof. Damn. That is, I mean, I'm not passing judgment. It just that is quite the thinking for it.
But if she feels like it's getting invaded too often, eventually she'll say F it and eat her entire family first. Funny thing is, most skinks will just lay their eggs and peace out, but those in the area codes of egg-eating snakes will guard their nests. That is until the moms get pressed enough and become the predator. The burying beetle has a different problem.
This is so wild. I guess I never really took into consideration how many animals eat their babies. This is just like, I don't know, this is very eye-opening. It's very eye-opening.
That is until the moms get pressed enough and become the predator. The burying beetle has a different problem. You see, this corpse roach will turn an expired rat into a nursery, but if there's too many beetleists, there won't be enough food and they'll end up small and underdeveloped. So the beetle will systematically murk a small percentage of her own children to keep the ratio honest, and science says it's the beetles that beg the most for food that get packed up. Seriously, the larvae that beetles can beg, by the way, but the ones that only do
beetles can beg. I had that is new. That is new information to me. Beetles can beg. That is crazy. This is crazy. The mom doing population control in there. Crazy. My brain is like, what in the fudge? You know, like holy crap.
Most for food that get packed up. Seriously, the larvae that beetles can beg, by the way, but the ones that only do it when they're genuinely hungry actually have a better chance of surviving than the ones that do it constantly. In a weird way, it's like a creative tactic to reward honesty. But also imagine asking your mom what's for dinner and she takes your head off. Either that or it's a really messed up game of musical chairs where the biggest beetles get fed first until there's no food left, and the ones that get left out get terminated, which is actually a great transition to the
That is, I mean, it makes sense. And I guess as a way of like making sure that your stronger children survive, I guess in those kind of terms, but it also seems like it's so savage. Guy, like, damn, talk about like favoriting children. I mean, if you're not a favorite and you ask for food too often, you just get eaten. Oh gosh, oof.
Until there's no food left, and the ones that get left out get terminated, which is actually a great transition to the last pitfall of youth, sibling rivalry, or it be your own part 2. Spotted hyenas
Oh
take on
man, sibling rivalry. I see this getting real ugly real fast.
literally, they will try to kill each other the moment they're born, and this ain't a friendly Disney Channel type of fate. A quarter of the cubs born never make it out of the den because of it. And considering the very process of birth can turn both parties into a hashtag, yeah, hyenas got it bad. So
That's wild. I wonder, like, why is that though? I wonder, like, what goes on when they get born that they are so aggressive towards each other? Is it just is this like an evolution instinct thing, or like I mean, that's crazy. But I wonder what makes them like that.
ain't a friendly Disney Channel type of fate. A quarter of the cubs born never make it out of the den because of it. And considering the very process of birth can turn both parties into a hashtag, yeah, hyenas got it bad. So does this guy. The shoe-bill stork is one of many types of birds that will flatline their sibling to survive, and even with different species, the script is the same. The stronger chick gets all the food and attention, while the weaker one gets bullied and beaten into oblivion, often while the mother's watching. Heck,
Oh my gosh. So this is just like an all-out brawl. These things are so cool and yet so freaky at the same time. It's like they don't look real to me. Another one does not look real, but I don't know. There's something about them that I think are so cool, but like totally freak me out at the same time.
while the weaker one gets bullied and beaten into oblivion, often while the mother's watching. Heck, sometimes they serve the corpse as a victory meal. But
Oh my
arguably
gosh.
the most brutal case of competition happens in Tasmania. You know exactly where this is about to go. Tasmanian devils can birth 20, 30, sometimes up to 40 joeys, but
Oh wow. I did not know that. Actually, I don't really know a whole lot about Tasmanian devils, but I mean, that's like a small village that they're birthing. That is a lot.
somehow while their opossum cousins have 13 nipples and the short-tailed opossum has 27, the live-action Looney Tune got capped at 4. So now the blind, hairless, raisin-sized joeys have to somehow race their way from the birth canal all the way to one of 4 milk faucets. As you can guess, the first 4 to feed go on and grow. The remaining joeys get canceled like a Friends spinoff by the mother.
Oh my gosh. That is a lot of sibling carnage that is going on here, considering that she only has four feeding ducks, I guess. But like, oh man, what kind of ratio is this? Like, what happened here at the like when these Tasmanian devils were, I guess, made, I don't know, created, whatever, however they came about, somebody's math wasn't mathing right, and these little babies got screwed.
As you can guess, the first 4 to feed go on and grow. The remaining joeys get canceled like a Friends spinoff by the mother who eats them alive. I know I said musical chairs earlier, but this is That Meets Saw, directed by Casey Anthony. And somehow there's an
Directed by oh man. Oh, they're pretty cute little babies though. They look like little angry babies. I like it. I like it. I wonder, like, do people like have Tasmanian devil sanctuaries meet? Like, does that help their odds?
animal that gets done even worse. The sand tiger shark can have up to 50 embryos inside her uterus. The problem is, one litter can have multiple fathers. So once one of the embryos grows big enough, it swims around and starts eating all the others. And
what? It starts eating the other. Oh my gosh. Whoa, man. So you're the first ones out. I guess you're snacking on your siblings and half siblings. Oh gosh.
And they don't just wipe out all the smaller embryos. Once the pup clears them, it then eats all the unfertilized eggs in the uterus. And you know these sharks duck zero smoke because the way we found out was from a scientist poking around a pregnant shark's uterus and getting his hand bitten by an undercooked pup.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Can you imagine being that poor guy, like just trying to learn about shark pregnancy and you get bitten and I'm sure that was probably the last thing on your list, while you're doing your research.
It's a special kind of spawn killing when you don't even let them spawn, but it gets even more metal because sand tiger sharks have 2 uteruses, so usually have 2 pups. And apparently some predatory pups will swim from one uterus to another and murk everything in sight.
Oh my gosh, so they're like Pac-Man. God damn.
Tigers have one of the lowest reproductive rates of any shark, and in utero cannibalism
I believe that after hearing all this. That is, yes, I 100% believe this because this is wild.
in sight. Sand tigers have one of the lowest reproductive rates of any shark, and in utero cannibalism probably doesn't help. So those are all the ways childhood is a figurative flogging for some animals. But I missed one. I missed the animal with arguably the worst childhood of all. What animal could that be? How about the one that has to deal with all of this? The gauntlet, the rivalries, the occasional cannibalism. If you didn't think it could possibly get worse, be glad you're not a sea turtle.
Oh no. What happens? Well, I know. Don't sea turtles babies have like a really hard time? I just remember like saying something about it, but I you know, like as to why totally I'm lost. So this is good.
Baby sea turtles got the Tasmanian devil experience on brutal, because not only do they have to crawl for their lives from beach to sea, they also have to worry about getting digested alive in a vulture's stomach, crushed to death by crocodiles, and even having their eyes gouged out by cutthroat crabs. And
Having their eyes gouged out by crab. Oh my gosh. Oh, so they have like basically everything wants to eat them when they're babies, like basically everything. And then I'm guessing once if they make it to the water, you know, it's the whole ocean is just out to eat them.
yeah, that one's still alive. And that's just on the beach. Even if they hit the water, they're likely to get griefed by reef sharks, and in open water, threats like the dolphin fish are liable to turn turtles into hard candy. Some species improve their chances by going at night and using the moon as a guide, but man-made lights can confuse the turtles into going the wrong way on the highway.
Oh no, they went to this person's pool. Oh no. Oh, I mean, I guess going at night would maybe up your odds. I have seen those videos on Instagram where I guess what you can go at like a certain time when all the babies are going to the ocean, and I guess I think are they guiding them so that nothing messes with them while they until they get there. I think, I don't know, but it's pretty cool though. It's a really cool video.
And this ain't Mario Kart, there is no Lakitu to bail them out. And even though sea turtle cannibalism has only really been seen in captivity, I would not put it past the wild ones, cause, well, you remember when I said baby birds are like the potato chips of nature? Baby turtles are like the Kit Kat bars of the beach. Turtles got it so bad that their literal only defense is just having so many kids that it doesn't matter how low the odds are, they just have to not be zero. Let's talk numbers. If the average sea turtle lays, let's say 110 eggs in a clutch, and each lady turtle has an average of 3 clutches in a season, with about 100,000 females nesting at the same time, assuming only half the eggs actually hatch, you're looking at over 16 million hatchlings storming the beaches like Normandy.
16. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess, I guess at that point, you know, it's just a numbers game. You know, just keep pumping out those babies, and you know, that certain percentage should probably make it, right?
Actually hatch, you're looking at over 16 million hatchlings storming the beaches like Normandy. Numbers carry them so hard that sea turtles will actually sing to each other while in the eggs to make sure they're all on the same page and hatch at the same time. But
What? That is crazy. I didn't know that. What does it sound like? I would like to know, because that's actually kind of cool.
turtles will actually sing to each other while in the eggs to make sure they're all on the same page and hatch at the same time. The thing for that, because in some species, only 1 in every 10,000 turtles born live long enough to make it worth it. The ones that
1 in 10,000? Oh my gosh, those are not good odds at all. Oof.
species, only 1 in every 10,000 turtles born live long enough to make it worth it. The ones that do spend most of their lives at sea until one day their internal GPS takes them hundreds, if not thousands of miles back to the beach where it all began. It's almost inspiring, you know, every sea turtle you see was that turtle out of thousands, and if they can make it out of that, hey, maybe we
That's incredible. I didn't realize that they go back to where they were born. That's cool. You know, it's like those internal things that animals have of how they know and this and that. I mean, I find that really fascinating. I think that's really, really cool about them.
don't have it so bad. Yeah, let me stop right there. Turtles might as well be named after all the shit they take. Imagine nature gifting you a real-life bullet-hell middle finger for your birthday, and this is the fastest you can go. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you drink water. Let moms know you appreciate that. Out of all the things she could have been, she's not a harp seal. I hope. If you're trying to see turtles for real, Cayman Islands Turtle Center, 100% recommended. And
Oh, that's cool. Oh, is that him? Did he get to go? That's cool. Oh, there's so many here. Oh, I love it.
unless you're a baby turtle, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Oh, I love this. Oh, that was great. This was a great video. I mean, it was very traumatizing, but this was very informative, and it gave me a very, very big insight onto um how messed up, I guess, or like kind of crazy being a baby animal is in some aspects. It seems terrifying, and I mean, it is what it is. It's crazy. It seems like, I mean, I know that we always try to look at things from, you know, like a human perspective, but like, I mean, oof, you know, this one, it's really hard not to, because they're just babies, you know. But great video. I really liked it though. Very, very, very eye-opening to me. I don't know about you guys, but like, this is definitely stuff that I had absolutely no idea about. So uh very, very insightful for me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys being here. And be sure to go and watch Casual Geographic's channel. Go and subscribe to him, like his videos, everything like that, because he's really great, and I really, really appreciate all these videos. I feel like I always learn so much from him, so it's pretty cool. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.